Good evening, this is Chef Anthony Stewart. I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm uploading this video to you right now, not doing live. Tonight we're going to be doing a diabetic peach cobbler. From there, basically all it is, we're just changing out the sugar for a sugar substitute, which we're using stevia for this recipe right here. You can find this in any grocery store. It's like one of many different sugar substitutes. Also, the ingredients you're going to need are, you can do frozen peaches, which I have here. Get yourself a pack of the pie crust that you can find in the frozen section.
Pick it up. Got it.
Cinnamon, brown sugar, a little bit of cornstarch as well. Alright, so right now, I got my oven set at 350 degrees. From there, took about 3 tablespoons of butter, about to melt that inside the microwave. Alright, let that go for 30 seconds. Now from there, since we got both of these going right now, I'm going to start working on the filling. So what I'm going to do is open the peaches up right here. Alright. Then right inside the bag. Flowing from the bag straight to the bowl. Right. And I kind of like using the frozen ones, as they're just as good as fresh. Alright. The peaches right inside there. Alright, and from here, we are going to measure up the amount. From here, we are going to add at least a teaspoon of cinnamon, to this. Because this is another nice, strong kind of seasoning, herb if you will. You don't want to add a whole lot to it. Anything more than a teaspoon is going to be a lot for this recipe. Alright, got the cinnamon inside here. And from here, you also want to add your cornstarch, because that's going to be the thing that gives it that nice thick consistency, almost like a pie consistency. From here, I'm just going to add a half a teaspoon of cornstarch to this. Alright. Alright. Half a teaspoon right here. Cornstarch. Set this to the side. Stevia, the sugar substitute. Alright. I'm going to add a little bit less because the peaches are naturally sweet. So I'm going to go for at least 2/3 cup of stevia. Always in baking, you want to make sure that you're exact. So that means leveling off all your cups. Alright. Next is the brown sugar. The brown sugar probably a little bit less, but we're also going to be using the brown sugar for a little bit later. Brown sugar, you'll be using at least a 1/4 cup. Alright, my brown sugar. Move this over. Alright, And from there, just a tiny bit of vanilla. Like 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Well, half a teaspoon of vanilla. Alright. Now, I'm going to go back. I'm going to set this over here for a second. Go back and check on our butter, which has melted nicely. Okay. Alright, so from there, we're going to move over a little bit and get our pan together, and we're going to spray it down. That sound just basically meant that our oven is ready to go. We're going to take one of these crusts and we're going to do something called a blind bake, which means you're going to bake off the crust first, the bottom part of the crust. I'll take this crust. This crust would be not that difficult, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is take this bottom crust and we're going to form it to the bottom pan. Bottom of our pan right here. Alright. Then we're just going to add just a little bit of the butter right here. Alright. Set the rest off to the side. And just let that butter go all the way around. Need be, just push it into the crust a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. Now we're going to bake this crust for at least 4 to 5 minutes until at least it's golden brown in the oven at 350. Let me set our timer. I'm going to go at 5 minutes. Now, set this butter off to the side over here. And get us a spoon together. And start mixing this up. So here you got the stevia, got the peaches, the cinnamon, all that inside here, the cornstarch to help thicken it while it bakes. That way give it a nice thick consistency. Almost feels like if you're eating like an apple pie, almost. Alright. Got that in here. Got all that mixed up right there. Without even baking it, I can smell the cinnamon and everything else just coming out real nice. Alright. So we got this mixed up right here. And from here, I'm going to set this up over here with my butter, my cinnamon, and the brown sugar, which we're going to use later after the pie comes out. Well, after the cobbler comes out the oven. Alright. From here, we're just going to clean up as we go along. Got the pie crust in the oven.